you can bring me back to me. Bring me back, back, you can bring me back to me. Bring me back, back, you can bring me back to me. Bring me back, back, you can bring me back to me. Bring me back, back, you can bring me back to me. Bring me back, back, you can bring me back to me.
Oi oi, who we have? Where we have mic levels and we've got logic levels hopefully.
Yeah, I was
Happy days.
treat it like a hobby for a pop.
Alright, hello all who've showed up super quick. I've just randomly gone live. Supposed to be doing the Neutron 5 videos and whatnot. However, I've not had time. They've launched it super early in the day. So why don't we just go live and do it that way, eh? Way easier, isn't it? Bit of tea. How are we all this morning? All beans. So, this is the project I've got up. What we do, we'll run through it. I think we'll just let it stream through for the minute. Get an idea of what's going on. Let anyone else join who's coming in, because I've done this pretty short notice. And then we'll go over the new useful stuff, or at least what I'm finding useful so far in Neutron 5. I've had it for a little bit. So, yeah, let's just play the tune through for now.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress, not a finished track, but
Warrior son,
something useful at least.
myself, the working class dad, Michael Parkinson. Every day, y'all.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. Either on beat or a cappella. So when I gotta do it, I'ma do it well. DnB, any beat, I'ma make it sell. Put the art in the dark like Splinter Cell. I gotta win, so I must prevail. Heavyweight, so you can't put it on the scale. You can hope for the best with a wishing well. But any man can't contest, then I wish him well. Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday, y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major. Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday, y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
If it's underground, it ain't major. And if it's underground, it ain't major. If it's underground, it ain't major. If it's underground, it ain't major. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
Many know I got them flows in a chokehold. I'm a pro, bro. I ain't really got a showboat. Nah, I can crack the code, but I won't though. Hold my own though, as I pose for the photo. Mwah. If there's no dough, then it's no show. I get it done on my ones when I'm solo. When it comes to the beats, I got boatloads. It's always been me, myself, and a logo. I was on it when you weren't involved. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. Many wanna copy for the same results. Because the shit was always sold and was never told. See, nothing's really set in stone. I'm just trying to leave a mark before it's time to go. So when it's time to let it go, I'ma leave them with a sound just to let them know. Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't.
I'll definitely need to look at that hook, but hey, it is a work in progress. So let's have a look at the new stuff over in Neutron. And I think we'll start with the super nerdy thing, which I have used on the brass on this middle verse here, I think.
Either on beat or a cappella. So when I gotta do it, I'ma do it well. DnB, any beat, I'ma.
Yeah, sweet. So it's the only thing on that channel. When you have brass instruments, you get it on vocals sometimes. Things like a DC offset, you get the waveforms going down more than it's up or up more than it's down. Might not seem to be like an issue, but when that plays back on a big speaker system, it means it either smacks the speaker right out and then only lets it come back part way, or the other way around, it forces it to suck in and it can't push out. It's something to fix if it's happening to an extreme. Now, it's relatively minor on this because it's quite low down in the mix, but since we now have a tool to resolve it, it's quite a useful thing to do. If I switch this off, do I still get the feedback? No. So let's just reset this. Just hold Option and click both of these guys here. So this is the phase module in Neutron 5. And if we play back this bit of brass, we can see there's instances like here where it's pushing up more than it's pulling back. Now, this kind of low level shouldn't cause too much of an issue. But if you're really cranking that up, that's going to be quite a bit of movement on the speaker. And if you've got a loud brass section, absolutely would need to fix this. This allows us to do that basically. Now, you can just hit the learn function and it will figure out the best configuration for it. So if we just hit learn, play the brass back through it, like so, you can see it going through that. Go. Now, I dialed this in differently before, but you can see now that offset, for the most part, is really, really under control. Now, I think I ended up, I forget what it said. Did I have it like 36? I think that's where I put it to. That's where I found it to be a better position to be in. You can just dial it in visually. It's not something you're really going to be able to hear. Something you'd just like not be nice to know that you've controlled it if you're aware of this kind of thing happening. Now, this isn't the only thing that this does phase wise. I just wanted to show that because that is on there. I've also used it to line up the lo-fi break here with the punchy kick. So these two bits here. So if we go over to these two tracks, you can see here I've got two instances of Neutron 5 on here, but we only really need to open up the one. So this is the punchy kick, so the second channel down there, and then there's another break running on the top of it. So if I take that away, it's just this. Right? But there's elements of a kick drum still in here. Even though I've filtered it out, you can still hear that bottom end of the break, right? And that lo-fi breaks from another track and it kind of ebbs and flows. Not everything sits exactly where it should. So just dropping the kick drum on those spots or trying to line it up with every bit in the breaks, not really a thing I want to spend my whole day doing, like zoomed right in here, trying to line up phase that I can't necessarily see. So we can do it in the plugin, which is really nice to have in a channel option, basically. So if we change the view here from combined to, say, sidechain, now we're actually seeing the break, because that's why they're sidechain, they're linked into one another here, right? If we switch it to main, now we're seeing the kick. Now if we do main plus sidechain, now we can see the overlay of the two. And you can see there are parts of the kick, especially in the later sections here, where the phase gets a little bit wobbly on it. However, importantly, that kick and punch is really, really lined up. But I need to remember the rotation here because I want to get it back 68 degrees. But if we put that back to 0, it's by no means bad, but it is not as punchy and sharp as it was. And we can end up having it really quite phasing off like that. Now again, the learn function here understands what you're trying to do. It sees you've got a sidechain coming in and it sees the two signals. It will try and match them up relatively well. I just found that giving it that set rotation without the 9 millisecond of delay was better. That's kind of flamming a bit for me. Tell you what though, it's still done the same rotation that we came to. Now if I take the delay away, that's lining up far, far better. Let's just A/B it real quick. So hopefully there you can hear like the low end phases just a little bit on some of the kicks, not all of them. When we switch it on, it's just consistently punchy rather than sometimes being a bit like a little bit flabby. And then it's just a super nice little tool to have in there to fix those kinds of issues rather than going in and lining up every single sample over, well, hours probably, and then bouncing it out into another break. And there's other tools out there that do this. It's just nice that it's now built straight into Neutron. There's two things. We've gone with the most nerdy thing, which is phase for sure. But I've made use of two of those instances in here with just the one tool rather than what I'd usually have to do.
It's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed, even though I'm a vet.
Ask, will somebody
I was trying to make
just give us a message of some kind in chat
then I never will.
so I can see that it is still rolling.
Never fail.
It's supposed to be a chatbot sorting things out today, but that doesn't seem to have worked.
Got a fake when I know it's real.
Also, I've got a bunch of like metrics, down, hang on, that way this time. Be good to see if some of those can update as well, but who knows? I'm new to this whole streaming palaver.
Either on beat or a cappella. So when I gotta do it, I'ma do it well. Got DnB, any beat, I'ma make it sell.
All right, so what else have we got? There's a clipping module added in now. Where did I utilize that? Over here on the stereo out. So just to be clear, if you've only just joined the stream, this track is a whip. It's a work in progress, by no means finished. I just found it as a good example because I'm actually working on it. I tend to put ozone and limiters and stuff on my stereo out so I can quickly pump it up in level and hear where I'm at kind of mix wise and how that's going to translate. So that's what's going on here. It's not like I've done this to crank it up and I would normally mix into it. It's so I can quickly switch it on and be like, cool, I'm in this kind of ballpark. And in this case, Neutron 5 has added a clipper in. So I wanted to test that out, and that's a sensible place to go and test the clipper in this example. I reckon this is going to come over to Ozone. The way they've done this is really good. So at the minute, if we open Ozone 11, since we've got it here, on their maximizer, you've got the soft clip option just down here, which, sure, great, we can see the percentage that we've put it in. The way it's integrated in here is so much better. So let's have a quick butchers. Let's loop over this bit here.
Yeah, I was on it when you weren't involved. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. Many wanna copy for the same results. Yeah.
So what's great about this, we've now got the threshold option and really detailed feedback, so we can pull it down exactly to where we want it to go. We've then got a boost option, so how much do you want to push into that clipper? You've got the two options basically to ebb and flow into it like you would with a classic clipper, just in a slightly different format with a really nice bit of visual feedback. Cool, great. Millions of clippers do that. It's also multiband, which is the thing that's proper blown me away. So what I can do is put, say, a split in here, and I can have it so the low end is maybe just about touching, right? And take a little bit of those transients out. Top end can be completely different. We've got much harsher transients. Grab those separately. The reason that's powerful and important is, say you've got a big kick that comes through and that wants to be clipped. That's the maximum that you can then reach, right? If you've then got a snare that's just a little bit below, you're only ever going to be clipping off the top of that kick. You can split them apart this way and have it so it's working alternatively. So it will be clipping the snare, but the kick won't be there at that same time. So you're able to get that kind of extra step up if you really needed it in terms of mastering and cranking excessively disgusting loudness out of it. With that said, it's also relatively transparent.
Yeah.
Not the most transparent I've ever heard, but pretty solid.
It's like a hobby for a pot of gold. Many wanna copy for the same results. Because the shit was all.
Yo, Cold, I'm all good. Thank you for the message in chat so I can see chat is working.
I'm just trying to leave a mark before it's time to go.
How are you, buddy? Is it starting to get sweltering hot there now?
I'ma leave them with a sound just to let them know. Yeah. I was on it when you weren't involved. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. Many want.
Right, so you can see we're taking about 4 dB out on the low end here.
Yeah. I was on it when
Say,
you weren't involved.
and upper mids.
A hobby for a pot of gold.
And as much as 5 dB out in here, but because they're working on the split of the audio, they're happening at separate times, so we can lift that up a lot more.
Before it's time to go.
So this track's already mega loud because of the way I've set it up to monitor. Let's see if we can add 4 dB of gain, which would be a pretty disgusting thing to do on an already loud mix without it falling apart. This might fall apart, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was on it when you weren't involved. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. Many want a copy for the same results. Because the shit was always sold and was never told. Never. See, nothing's really set in stone. No, I'm just trying to leave a mark.
I mean, that's really, really crushed now, but the amount of gain that up's massive, and it still hasn't completely fallen on its arse, which, considering it's not a finished mix, pretty solid. So this Clipper edition is really, really nice touch. I would like to have seen this version of the Clipper in Ozone 11 for sure, but I reckon that will probably come in a future version. Again, useful tool to have built into a very, very versatile channel strip at the end of the day. Now, I don't remember what any of my settings were, but hey, here we are. Let's try and just dial it back in. So it was just tickling it.
You can't treat it like a
And we were adding, I don't know, like 1.8, somewhere around there.
yeah. I was on it when you weren't involved. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot.
Just tickling those tops, wasn't it? Like that.
Because the shit was always sold and was never told. Never.
As well, the Delta feature has been added into this. If you don't know what the Delta feature is, it will play you the difference of what's happening to your tool. So if you've made a change like a clip, for example, we now only hear what's being affected, and this is what's being affected. And that's because of the oversampling as well.
Because the shit was always sold and was never told. Never. See, nothing's really.
A better example of that might be if we just mute that one for a moment. Actually, no, we can add EQ in there, for example. So a good example of what a delta does. If we take the equalizer and put a delta on, we hear nothing now, right? So it's not playing anything back because it only plays the difference that that particular tool is adding. So now if I was to put a boost in here, now we hear all of the frequency range and the boost that that particular band of the EQ is doing. Get rid of it, we go back to a null effectively, yeah? Delta shows us exactly the frequency area we're touching, by how much and what we're doing to it. Yeah? That's on every module now, I believe. I'm going to say that relatively confidently.
So when it's time to let it go.
So that's a really useful like A and B tool that's in there as well. I have to say, I think those are the main things that have been added that I picked up on. What else have we done on here? On the brakes. Okay, so we've got some changes to the Sculptor. So I've used that on the overall drum brake. And we can have a look at what we're doing with that. The change with the Sculptor, working in mid-side mode here. So on the sides, you can see what's going on. It's got a nice visual representation. When the snare smacks in, it pulls the tops down. So the snare becomes like really pointed and right in the middle, especially if you're in headphones. About 4 weeks away from the bullshit heat. Yes, fair one. So you've got like the peak weather right now. Yeah, the AB, the Delta, hearing exactly the change you're making, not just ABing and trying to understand it, can be so useful. Okay, same principle works here, right? That's what's happening to the audio. So the Sculptor, mids, when everything hits in, it's lifting up the top of that snare, but on the sides, it's pulling back. So basically when the snare hits, it becomes really central, pulls everything down, but just for that moment. You know, it's a really subtle mixing technique, but the difference is quite paramount when you listen AB. Brings loads of focus into that snare immediately for me. Yeah, hopefully that's obvious, but it might just be because I'm in headphones and have listened to this for hours on end. What else have we got in here? That's currently doing nothing. I mean, what we could do actually on the vocals just here, have a look at how the new intelligence side of things works. So
Yeah, I was on it when you weren't involved. Nah, you can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. What? Many want a copy for the same as
cool beans.
because the shit was always sold and was never.
So carrying on from what they did in the last version, more macro control, but you're now able to do customization over here as well. So whereas it's figured out its voice, it's put it on vocals, it's given us a vocal profile for the overall track, and then we can dial in density, which we'll look at in a sec, the drive and saturation and width if we want, which is nice on the vocal to just be able to pump it in.
You weren't involved. Nah, you can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. What? Many want a copy.
Obviously don't want to do that, but as an effect, it's there.
Sold and was never told. Never. See, nothing's really set in stone. Nope. I'm just trying to leave
Leave that as it is, because we've got ad-libs and things to sort that out.
when it's time to let it go.
Tonality for the EQ, so like more EQ, less EQ, basically. I think we can see roughly what it does here. So you see this nice curve, that's the EQ curve it's decided on for this vocal. If I dial it right back, when we go back over there, oh look, it's effectively the same. What it's done is adjusted the mix over here. I would rather it took these points and it dialed them back in rather than did like a wet dry mix, right? But the controls there, it gives you the option to dial things in quickly. And it's like a misrepresentation of what's going on over here, in my opinion anyway, but that's how it works. What we can do though is put custom in. So say you've worked with this vocalist before, you dialed in an amazing vocal tone that you wanted to pick up from them. You could capture that vocal tone, put it in here and get that same profile. Now I've got Still Dre here, the whole track. That's not ideal, but it will now try and work it out based on that track when we play it back, right?
I was on it when.
Now we do relearn.
You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. What? Many want a copy for the same results. Yeah. Because the shit was always sold and was never told. Never. See, nothing's really set in stone. Nope. I'm just trying to leave them up.
Yeah, hear the change?
So when it's time to let it go, I'ma leave them with a sound just to let them know. Yeah.
Which phones you on, Bayer? I don't know what that means, dude. Oh, the headphones. Yes, the Bayer Dynamics. What are they? Pro X model.
Yeah. I was on it when you weren't.
The semi-open ones.
Can't treat it like a hobby for.
So you can change between your different profiles, look, and it does it on the fly for you.
Because the shit was always sold and was never told. Never. See, nothing's really set in stone. Nope. I'm just trying to leave them up before it's time to go. So when it's time to let it go, I'ma leave them with a sound.
It'd be nice if I had an example of that vocal, but I don't.
When you weren't involved, nah. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. What?
But we'll look at density as well while we're here. They put density in as saying like it's a compressor that works from the bottom. To me, that's an expander, and it seems to be an expander. Again, something they added into Ozone 11, but gave like a really simple thing, like upward compress, the amount you want to lift it up. It's now got a full menu over here in how to, that's like how it's working. We can actually dial everything in.
You can't treat it like.
If I'm wrong and this isn't expansion, tell me, but as far as I've ever understood it, that's expansion.
Sold and was never told. Never.
Now you're taking the lower part of the signal and pushing it up at those keyframes rather than the higher part of the signal and pulling it down. Expansion to me. I don't know why it's called this, but
yeah,
we've got our threshold. Look.
Involved. Nah. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. What? Many want a copy for the.
So now we're not adding anything, but if it's falling below the threshold,
see,
we begin to lift it back up based on the ratio and speed.
Before it's time to go.
Let's be ridiculous with the overall range.
I'ma leave them with a sound just to let them know. Yeah, I was on it when you weren't involved. Nah. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. What?
Way too slow, super fast.
Yeah. Because the shit was always sold and was never told. Never. See, nothing's really set in stone. Nope. I'm just trying to leave them up before it's time to go. So when it's time to let it go, I'ma leave them with a sound just to let them know. Yeah.
And you can see what it's doing here. It's just absolutely crushing the vocal, but by bringing the lower parts up.
Copy for the same results. Yeah. Because the shit was all.
A combination of that with
See, nothing's
regular compression could well be useful.
before.
Yeah, you go to any of the old SSL channels, you've got expansion in there as the option for exactly the same purpose. I just don't know why we've got a separate module and called density for it. And especially
I was on it
when this does what you need in 99% of the cases. We could honestly have taken what they did in Ozone 11, the upward compress, bash that in here, switch it on, and just do it both within the single channel. Maybe some people really want these options. I don't see a mega benefit, but it's useful for it to be there.
Yeah, I was on it when you weren't involved. Nah.
More's better than not enough, right? I don't need it on that channel though.
Many want a copy for the same results.
I think that's it in terms of new modules, isn't it? Unmask was there before. Density was there. Clipper's new. Density's new. Yeah, and the phase module, which we covered already. Yeah. That pretty much covers all of the new bits right there. What have we actually done time-wise? I have no idea how long we've been streaming. And it's not even on my heads up. I'll just assume we've been about 30 minutes. I think what I'll do for the rest of this time, potentially, is just work on this track, or we could do something from scratch. If anyone's got any queries, though, it's not disparaging it, but if it's not something I'll use, yeah, like, I don't know, just call it what it is. Strange that we've got the density module. It feels very marketing friendly, right? It's useful to have it in there, don't get me wrong. Like legacy SSL channel strips have expansion in there. It's there for a reason. Seldom need to reach for it. I find it more useful in something like the mastering aspect of things, you know, getting that final loudness, but sure, it's there, it's been added, it's another feature. I think it's a bit strange the way they did it. Adding the clipper in was absolutely fantastic option. I love that. The phase thing, as you can see, I used it in this track a fair bit to fix that brass and align the kick and brake loop. But yeah, all in all, relatively solid. I'm pretty happy with how that is. So I wonder, can we, probably can't change my thumbnail and stuff and just do some making tunes for the rest of this, can I? I can. Maybe. Let's have a look here. That up. That up. And what we might do, I might just open up another project and we'll just work on a tune for a couple of hours. I suppose at some point I should probably edit this into an actual video, hey? Let's have a look. Can I change my thumbnail while we're still live? Title. Cheeky. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Boom, job done. There you go. We've updated the stream so I can now work on something. Do I keep working on this track? I could do. What I've been considering doing is getting the hook right in at the start, then going into the breakdown and just working it over. Like even arrangement wise, I'm not entirely happy with it. I know we've got vocals and everything down. It's not mixed though, as you can see by most of the channels being empty and pretty much everything being at unity or like 1 or 2 dB adjusted. Yeah. I'm thinking like we come straight in here with the hook and then do this breakdown, get rid of this bit of vocal at the start and just have an 8-bar breakdown instead. So here.
much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. Either on beat or a cappella. So when I gotta do it, I'ma do it well. DnB, any beat, I'ma make it sell. Put the art in the dark like Splinter Cell. I gotta win, so I must prevail. Heavyweight, so you can't put it on the scale. You can hope for the best with a wishing well. But any man want the test, then I wish him well. Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve.
And I've not worked on that at all, which the balance is completely off. I'm thinking start with that over here. What we might do, take the entire project like that, go over here, and some of you will probably think this is sacrilege, but now we've got version 2 working in the same project without interfering with version 1. So what I was thinking of doing is starting off the whole hook and everything here. So we would have to bring that drum section over, up crossing it like that. That's not starting in the right spot because it's got a break at the end. There. Sweet. And then we would need all of those parts of vocals. Be put on there. I think. Maybe one back. Does roll over.
Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday, y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major. Everyday graft, every day's hard.
Wait, so I wonder if we can just go and bring brute bass in straight away.
Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday, y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major. Everyday graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday, y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
Every day, y'all.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. Either on.
Oh, I think that's a better way to start the track, even if it's just maybe even take the vocal out and bring that in later and just start with the absolutely like stripped back.
Everyday graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are every.
Maybe. Time being, we'll just mute them, but I might use it in the breakdown section.
Everyday graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday, y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
I think I'll have to make something that builds up into that vocal so it doesn't just come out of nowhere. Like maybe reverse reverb or delay it in or something just to like let you know it's coming so you expect it rather than it just appear out of nowhere.
Every everyday graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
So I reckon we can use these. Yeah.
Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
Unders, warrior sound. Myself, the working class dad. Michael Parkinson.
Yo,
Every day.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. Either on beat or a cappella. So when I gotta do it, I'ma do it well. DnB, any beat, I'ma make it sell. Put the art in the dark like Splinter Cell. I gotta win, so I must prevail. Heavyweight, so you can't put it on the scale. You can hope for the best with a wishing well. But any man want the test, then I wish him well.
Sound. I'm going to strip Ozone 11 off for a min, which means it's going to sound dead weak compared to what we've just been listening to, but I want a better idea of where we're at.
Too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. Either on beat or a cappella. So when I gotta do it, I'ma do it well. DnB, any beat, I'ma make it sell. Put the art in the dark like Splinter Cell. I gotta win, so I must prevail. Heavyweight, so you can't put it on the scale. You can hope for the best with a wishing well. But any man want the test, then I wish him well. I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail.
This first verse section, I like it, even it's super stripped back, but I do wonder if we can put something in there. You can see I've got a whole bunch of muted out things in there that was testing.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it
Too much music later.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill.
I think it might just be a case of really balancing that out so it's dead sharp and precise.
Can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will.
I've done that vocal processing. That's what I don't like. Get rid of you, and you.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never failed. Paid the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never failed. Paid the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. I ain't got
A little bit of hissing going on these parts here.
You can win if you never failed. Paid the cost of a loss when I saw the bill.
Cost of a lost.
Win if you
You
never.
can actually see it, so it's going to be right around here, I think. Oh, don't attach. So if we solo that, there it is. So we can control that with this. Put it down like that. Set that threshold. So it shouldn't touch it. most of the time.
The cost of a loss when I saw the bill.
It'll catch the S's.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never failed. Paid the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. Ha!
Bit better.
Got a fake when I know.
Might go a little bit harder on it.
The old school like speak and spell.
We'll give it a mega range of like 12.
Even though
And dial it back a bit.
I was trying to make it stick.
So it can really pull them down far if it needs to.
Now then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never failed. Paid the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. Ha! I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed.
Slow it down to 60 with a guitar solo. Jesus, dude. Laters. Have a good evening.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. Ha! I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. Ha! I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. Ha! I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell.
That little boost there at like 1600 just helps the vocal snap out a little bit more for me.
Make it stick like a better gel.
Right or wrong, I don't know.
Now then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. Ha! I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed.
So I think I'm going to spend some time trying to make this part of the vocal come in, because I like the drums being able to drop. It gives it kind of a DnB mixed it in vibe, right? Mixed into a track. It's dropped with this heavy. The vocals just come out of nowhere, so we need to do something to ramp them up.
Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't.
So how are we going to do that? I don't know. It's going to be some experimentation, I think. So we are going to need some empty channel. Let's give ourselves an audio channel down here. We're going to take that bit of vocal. We got
Every day graft, every day's hard. Every day graft, every day's hard.
I wonder if we can use like graft to kind of bring it in.
Every day graft, every day.
That. The best way to do this. Try. I'm gonna reverse it, give it some delay and reverb, and try and make like a ramp up. Might not work, might give us something else to use. That spread doesn't matter because it's a mono channel. Cut the low. Okay. That can stereo it out. X like that. Got more top end, longer tail in the mids. Don't dampen that off. That down. Not that extreme. Alright, let's print that and try that as our first idea. Box rev, new track. Yep. Right. So we're going to flip that around the other way. Try and somewhat line that up. About there. Give it a little fade. It's going to be far too loud, but it'll give us an idea if we're in the right ballpark or what to do.
Every day's hard.
Oh, I lined that up shit, didn't I? How did I get that so wrong? I did it to that. Yeah. Down about 12 dB probably. No, we don't want to go from the original.
Every day graph, every day hard.
At the breath.
Every day graph.
That's the first word. Cool.
Every day graph, every day's hard.
Yeah, not a fan. Kind of have to dial that in a lot more, I think. But it's something. In minus.
Every day graph, every day's hard. Every day's fight so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday y'all. Cause if it's under...
Maybe I can use that again as well.
Everyday graph, every day's hard.
Alright. If we line that up with there, even though it's technically going to be out of time, because it's a rise, we might get away with that.
Every day graph, every day's hard. Every day's fight so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
Unders, warrior sound. Myself, the working class dad. Michael Parkinson. Yo. Every day.
I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet, you can never tell. I was trying to make it stick like a better gel. Cause if I don't do it now, then I never will. There's no way you can win if you never fail. Take the cost of a loss when I saw the bill. I ain't got a fake when I know it's real. I showed you the old school like speak and spell. Either on beat or a cappella. So when I gotta do it, I'ma do it well. DnB, any beat, I'ma make it sell. Put the art in the dark like Splinter Cell. I gotta win, so I must prevail. Heavyweight, so you can't put it on the scale. You can hope for the best with a wishing well. But any man can't contest, then I wish him well. Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major. Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight, so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
If it's underground, it ain't major. And if it's underground, it ain't major. If it's underground, it ain't major. If it's underground, it ain't major. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
Many know I got them flows in a chokehold. I'm a pro, bro. I ain't really got a showboat. Nah, I can crack the code, but I won't though. Hold my own though, as opposed for the photo. Mwah. If there's no dough, then it's no show. I get it done on my ones when I'm solo. When it comes to the beats, I got boatloads. It's always been me, myself, and a logo. I was on it when you weren't involved. You can't treat it like a hobby for a pot of gold. Many wanna copy for the same results, because the shit was always sold and was never told. See, nothing's really set in stone. I'm just trying to leave a mark before it's time to go. So when
I'm of the opinion that flows a bit better with that as the intro. We just need to figure something else out for here. That just...
every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
Unders, warrior sound.
Shit, there is the idea of having it on the breakdown, of which will never happen again in the rest of the track. That's kind of a nice idea. Have the pure, like, ripped in kind of intro. DnB track, mix it in, kind of vibe. Bit of instrumentation on the second 8. Reverse Vox.
every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major. I was doing too much, feeling overwhelmed. Even though I'm a vet.
That's not a bad idea. And then that never happens again in the track. It's always this.
Every day's graft, every day's hard. Every day's fight so we don't starve. These are everyday bars, everyday y'all. Cause if it's underground, it ain't major.
I like that. But what I need to do is take a break on this tune. And you can see it's a friggin' hench project. I'm working on it way too much. I do have a new sketch where I've literally just started drum breaks. I'm going to work on that for a little bit. If any of you want to hang about for that, there's a good chance it won't show up in there. Oh, what's the chance we still get audio? Yeah, winner. That sounds oddly out of time for some reason though. That's alright. It's that. The only other thing in here, apart from that like break idea that I've come up with, was this Juno bass. I feel like maybe we can work off of that. We can probably utilize that sound, maybe in with something else. Might be a sin, but what was I? F sharp, I think I tuned the kick to. Breaks probably tuned to the same. I might just go sample browsing, people. What's in Splice? Do this stupid thing to find F sharp samples like that. Maybe. Maybe. chopping it up. I have my keyboard hooked up. W, what's wrong with yours? All right. Ain't troubleshooting that. We click musicians. Bars. Definitely in mono. Got an extra cut for some reason. Do 0. I reckon there's something here, you know? Who knows? Drop. Little something to fill in there. Okay, and what else we got? Be disgusting if it just turned out that bass also worked underneath. That's unfortunate. Cool, so I want like a response to that little melody. Maybe we can work from like the middle of the sample. That'll work that way, maybe. Trying to do like if you've watched like the recent rhythm video I did where we go from like a 1er into 4ths into 8ths and like pick and ebb and flow that rhythm, just trying to work out something that works like that, but that is also kind of like a juxtaposition to what's already been played. I'm going to switch this little guy on here, which lets us follow tempo, sorry, and it should stretch the samples out just a little bit. I don't know if we're quite going to fit. That's unfortunate. Never mind. There's something there. I mean, we could still open up on that, right? Have a little play around with the attack might help us a little bit with kind of getting them together a bit more. Soften them up a little bit, right? The other thing I wanted to try and do was in the original sample, that little vocal works really nicely. I'm going to try and use the stem split and pull that vocal out. But you can tell that I don't ever use it. Where is it? Bass. It was under split. Remove silence. Split locators. Right. Come on, engage full brain. Processing stem splitter. Roger. Okay. See if you can find that like vocal sound. Actually, pull the bass out as well. If it will. It doesn't pick up that vocal tone. That's a real shame. I'd maybe jump into RX and see if RX can pick it out. A real shame. Maybe. That's not going to work. However, might be able to play around with this. again, but that. I like that. What can we do with it though? I'll open the forbidden folder because there is a useful tool in it. Tell you what, I will show you guys something really quick. If you ever use this stem splitter, I realized this the other day. Anytime you pull something out of it, you need an EQ that goes above 20 kilohertz for this. It leaves this in. Probably won't do it now I've said it, but watch right up here at like the 30 kilohertz range. Look at that. Look at that. Absolute savage spike. You're not going to hear it, but some speakers are going to try and reproduce it, and your dog's going to hear it. So anytime you use it, it does it. If you do it on something that's really intense, it's like up here, like 0 dB. It's horrendous. So FabFilter, you can use the brick wall. It goes away. It's so ridiculously high up, 30 kilohertz. You can't hear a difference to that, but it's got rid of that and stops your speakers trying to reproduce a disgusting frequency. Alright, I'm not sold on the chop sample idea. Little like grumbly bass though. Yeah, that's not too bad. Frustratingly, I'm really tempted to just leave that sample in, but I just can't bring myself to do it. So let's try another chopping method. So what you can do here is take sort of an interval in the sample, obviously make sure it's time stretched in time. Interval here being there, chop it up like that. And bung that lot over there for the minute. Use T, and there's no shortcut for this, but the slip tool. Pump yourself in different parts of the sample like so. And just keep that process going until you find something that works. Like do something like take all three, flip tool it again. Remember those chops are all in different spots. I'm going to give you something completely different each time. That needs to be something with a transient. just not a fan of like that impact key sound, the blong. But I do like the vocal tone, so I wonder if we can just leave a bunch of them or string them all together into something. Like that. And then we just crossfade them all. And then we'll filter them. Maybe we'll try reverb. And then maybe we've built some kind of pad to sit in the back. Let's use a compressor and control it off of the clicky kick. I don't know, man. Got it all over there, so maybe we'll come back to that sample. I like the idea, but not entirely sold. What else we got? Oh shit, it's in the wrong key. What a dope sample. Might have to T-paint it to make it work, but I think we'll have to use that in something else. But what a good sample. Heard that before. That's been used, right? There's that.
is a matter of alone. You're gone, but still.
We're almost there. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da.
Filthy to just drop that in and have it work. Some of the chops in there kind of work with that. So, stick that. That going bum, 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 and then time being, let's just mute these guys. Interesting. Okay. Filthy amount of low end on that, but we want to use that other bass that we've already sampled. This, I want something here. Yeah. Got. Still on mute. Useful. Why didn't we put a note in to then mute it? Come on now. It's the step up, it's like a dun dun dun. Yeah. This, by the way, is the process of making tunes like Digital Tears, etc. Going through so many different samples, trying to find little bits and ideas, scrapping ideas as I go. I think I've overdone that now, right? Right. Don't need those. Any of that. Or any of those either. Okay. What's that supposed to mean, dude? I don't know what Super Rack is. Installed it on a MacBook. I don't know where you're looking for it. What it's supposed to do. Like. Anyone wondering what that was who's only just joined, there's Juno 6 Reese patch. Actually, it says dubstep, but I've tweaked it into this. I'd like to know why I can't play my MIDI keyboard, though. That would make life so much easier. Oh. Hey. I should have some more fun with that, right? Doing it that way. tiny, like little sample in here, which right here, I don't think it even shows up. Yeah, look. That's what I want. When you go and listen to things like Digital Tears and all the swinger brass stuff, this is like the sampling process of going through and finding all those tiny little like vocal sounds that you didn't even know were there, trying to make them into something. Double that up. I'm going to try messing around with the pitch. Drop it down an octave. See what we get out of that. Reverb directly on it. I'll EQ it after. Are making your kicks or samples? You mean, did I make the kicks and samples? What do you mean, am I working on a sample pack? I mean, if you think, are you making the samples? I mean, the little vocal sound you're hearing now came out of this. Depends what you call making your own samples. This didn't exist a minute ago. It does now. Like this. MIDI. This is a well-known sample. This is a kick from my sample pack. This is a chopped up sample we did in this stream. This is a bass pulled out of something else, distorted and gritted up. This is genuinely a loop that I found and threw in. This is my Juno bass. MIDI. So I don't know the question. Right, the second time round, I'm going to try making it go up 12, which I'm concerned might sound horrendous. No, I don't use kick 3. Over there, I've got a drum brute, as well as I use the machine, which is just down here, and that's got its own kick generator. And I also use Logic's kick generators as well as Alchemy. And also just do things like recording sounds. Pumping on your chest is a great one, like a great kick. And with that said, this kick here, the clicker kick, that's drum brute. Wonder if we can make that into a pad. Ooh. No? Just don't feel like opening Quick Sampler? Just don't want to do it? Logic? No? There we go. We one-shot you. There would be my guess. Cool. Oh no. Like, primarily, I do sampling. That is what I've done forever. But I like to take loads of little bits and make it into something new. What we're going to try doing, curious, is Space Designer. But I don't know where that sample was. What was it? That? Definitely just moved. It's definitely not that. So what?
We live in life. We in a thought I could replace.
That's perfect. We're going to drop that into Space Designer. Get the dry down. Not quite what we're after, but if we take you down. Getting more pad-like. Ethereal space. There's no low end creeping in. Taking out too much of the high end to make it worthwhile, so that. Right, gone overboard on the size. Ugh, let's just ring it off. No, try something else. That's horrendous, but let's give it a go. That's kind of giving us a vibe that could sit in the background. I'm going to control it with a filter. Have it in when we want. Right, let's see. You. That's relatively good. Over itself a touch too much. Let's do it over 4 bars so it can't re-trigger itself. So wait. What we're going to do then is bash a gate on it, and we'll control the gate with hopefully the brake, which is going to be under inst brake 2. We should hear nothing. Run it back. Cool. up at 80. Great. That should sit in with everything else, just creating a little bit of ambience and atmosphere in there. Definitely too loud. Not sure I like the idea. Right, how about controlling it the other way? So instead of the noise gate, compressor, I have a preset for this called the FET SIDE. Control that with break and pull it the other way instead. And we're going to need to control that resonant right there. That. I'm just going to use the output gain on here, style it back. It's just sitting in there filling up a bit of space. Don't know if I like it. You're super aware of it when it's gone, right? Now we've made it, we can use the space designer and put basically any other sound into it that might be in key and might work. I think that's what's actually in there, isn't it? Oh no. It gives all kind of different vibes each time. Okay. Easy way to create pad and atmospheric sound. Like rubbing two sounds together, basically. Unsure for now though, I'm just gonna mute it and leave it there. As far as an 8-bar loop goes, something. In fact, since I'm getting hungry and there's only a few of you in here, there's not been any questions for a while, I am going to wrap it up and just call it there, my guys. If you do have any questions, throw it in the chat real quick, but I am going to get off and just call it there and edit this for the rest of the day.